So I'm Bart Taylor from the Will Rogers Memorial Museum, and I am the Will Rogers interpreter here at the museum. So my sole purpose is to what? Be the tour guide, the introduction to Will Rogers. For older adults, making sure Will Rogers is still alive. Because every day we hear we need a Will Rogers today. Mostly from the older folks because they know who he is, but we can always tell the kids that and tell them, you know what, why are these older folks saying we need a Will Rogers today? Why is he so important for 100 years later, almost after his death? Why are we still talking about Will Rogers? And that's another reason I wrote the books as well, is because the book can show kids, not just this black and white Will Rogers figure, which is fine for some folks, but for the young kids, it shows them he's a fresh person, he's a human being. And that cartoon style gets us to lock in, all kids love cartoons, big kids included, and so we can lock them in on seeing Will in a new light and opening up that to a whole new generation, his ideas. But my first book, Will Rogers and the Great White House Sleepover, came out in December 2021, and it details when Will Rogers was invited to spend the night by Calvin Coolidge when he was at one of the peaks of his careers. And so, my friends, that gave me the idea when I was going out to schools reading the book to all these kids. I must have read that book to a couple thousand kids, but it was able to show, we need to show more Will Rogers to these kids. And so my second book that just came out, Will Rogers and His Great Presidential Pals, details Will's 5 presidential relationships where he became actual friends, pen pals, writing back and forth, helping them out when these guys needed help, and Will was there when they needed Will to help out. I want to really open up for the 3rd and 4th and 5th graders because they're actually learning about Will Rogers history in their schools, or at least they should be, right? But if they're learning about Will, this can be a great little piece of their curriculum, right? They can see that Will is somebody with fresh ideas, help the presidents become bigger and better people. Obviously his comedy is still timely today. And so we just want folks, and especially kids, to understand that Will Rogers is for today. He's not some old static figure from the history books. He's someone for me and someone for you right now. The reaction with the books is they get to see this Will character. I bring a stand-up Will, and it's black and white, of course. He stands right behind me when I'm reading my books, right? And then I do his rope tricks that everybody knows Will by. But these books give kids an opportunity to dive in a little more deep on the things that he helped to accomplish with those presidents. So you start to see that, kids, you can be yourself. This kid from Oklahoma grew up in Indian Territory, of course, because we didn't become a state till 1907. But you show he started here in Indian Territory and worked his way up from the White House on the Verdigris River to the White House in DC, where he befriended 5 presidents. So whether it's Will's background as a Cherokee and his heritage, it's his comedy career, it's his roping career, it's his connection to the broader U.S. history, all of those things can help us connect to our kids in a better way with those ideas that he had of helping people come together. No man is great if he thinks he is. Something Will said that I think is special, and I like to say that at least one time every day. No man is great if he thinks he is. So you can get the book here, obviously, at Will Rogers Museum here, Memorial Museum, or you can go to shopwillrogers.com. That's on our willrogers.com homepage. Of course, that's the actual online gift store. You can also get it at Amazon, other book retailers, Target, and Walmart online as well. My friends, get you a copy, pick up the first book as well, and look forward to that 3rd edition here in not too long.